on Dr. King. And in this documentary, it was none like any before. It showed Dr. King as this cool, hip person. He was in college, he was part of fraternity, he was enjoyable. And so this poem is called, But He Was So Cool, He Even Stopped for Green Lights. Now the person that they're describing is not Dr. King, but the person that described is something that inspired me. My second piece will come from, the rapper Tupac Shakur, who was also a poet, and the poem is called Falling Star. And a lot of times when you hear this poem, it describes the death of Dr. King. A lot of times we think about a person who inspired us and then they're gone, but we must always remember him. And the third piece that I will share is from a powerful movement in the 90s. It's called the Million Man March. And during the Million Man March, Maya Angelou came and she shared a poem. And this poem will go from the history of the African American people, but it also comes to the point where we understand that no matter what we go through, we still rise. And that is something that Dr. King wanted to share with us. And no matter what happens, they don't have to love us, they do not have to respect us, but respect yourself. And when you respect yourself, you will rise among the mountaintops. And here I go. Okay. Super cool, ultra black. A tan purple had a beautiful shade. He had a double natural that put sisters to shame. And his beads were imported seashells from a black country I never heard of. He was triple hip. His tikis were hand carved out of ivory and came express from the motherland. He would greet you in Swahili and say goodbye in Europe. Ooh, he be so cool and intelligent. Cool is so cool. He was uncool by other blacks cool. Cool, ultra cool was bop cool, icebox cool, so cool, cold, His wine did not have to be cool. His was air-conditioned cool. Cool, real cool, made me cool. Now ain't that cool? Cool was so cool. His nickname was Refrigerator. Cool was so cool. He didn't know at the Detroit, Chicago, New York, we had to hit. Cool, super cool, real cool. That to be black is to be very hot. Second piece, Falling Star. They could never understand what you set out to do. Instead, they chose to ridicule you. When you get weak, they love the sight of your dimming and flickering starlight. How could they understand what was so intricate to be loved by so many, so intimate? They wanted to see your lifeless corpse. This way you cannot alter the course of ignorance that they set to make my people forget. What they have done for much too long, to just forget and carry on. I have loved you forever because of who you are, and now I remember. And the last poem, which is the Million Man March. The night has been long, the wound has been deep, the pit has been dark, and the walls have been steep. Under a dead blue sky, on a distant beach, I was dragged by my braids just beyond my reach. Your hands were tied, your mouth was bound, you were helpless and hopeless, and so was I. But unfortunately, throughout history, you have worn a badge of shame. I say the night has been long, the wound has been deep, the pit has been dark, and the walls have been steep. But today, voices of the Spirit sound. Speak to us in words profound. Across the years, across the countries, across the oceans, across the seas. They say draw near to one another, save your race. You have been paid for in a distant place. The ones, the old, the reminders that slavery chains have paid for our freedom again and again. The nights have been long, the pits have been deep, the walls have been steep. The hells we have lived through and lived through still have sharpened our senses throughout. The night has been long. This morning I looked through your anguish right down to your soul. I know that with each other we can make ourselves a whole. I look through the pouches in the past, your disguise, and see your love for family in your big brown eyes. I say clap hands and let's come together in this meeting ground. I say clap hands and let's deal with each other with love. I say clap hands and let us give the low road of indifference. Clap hands, let us come together and reveal our hearts. Let us come together and reveal our spirits. Let us come together and cleanse our souls and stop imposturing our own history. Clap hands, calm the spirits back from the ledge. Clap hands, let us invite joy into our conversation, courtesy into our bedrooms, gentleness into our kitchen, care into our nursery. The ancestors remind us, despite the history of pain, we are a going on people who will rise again, and still we rise. Thank you.
All right, my baby.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Bianca Spencer.
Okay, baby.
All right, just a few seconds or so, we can set up for our final performance.